college basketball on ESPN. 20 years of great memories.
The situation is this. 6 seconds to play. Tennessee, Chattanooga 51. Maryland 50. Bias is going to have to take the shot. And the Maryland Terrapin win it in an absolutely...
Tonight, the tradition continues on ESPN with a holiday triple header. First, it's the preseason NIT semis from Madison Square Garden. Then at 10:30, it's off to the islands for the championship of the Maui Invitational. But first, it's off to the Big Apple for the semis of the preseason NIT. Tip-off from the Garden when we return. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the preseason NIT is brought to you by Nike.
I hope you'll join me.
And welcome inside Madison Square Garden for Game 1 of the NIT Semifinals. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, a surprise to get here. Knocked off Ohio State, facing Arizona, and a chance to see a couple of the best young players in the country. Troy Murphy, Big East Freshman of the Year a year ago, and Michael Wright, Pac-10 Freshman of the Year from last year as well. Young teams, but they should be very exciting. Welcome again, everyone. John Saunders alongside Dick Vitale. Youth definitely is served as we look at this one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You talk about youth. We're talking about two super Souths. These two kids are dynamic. You talk about Mr. Murphy. He's an inside-outside player. He can shoot the three. He can post on the inside, and he gets to the free-throw line. Michael Wright, he better get some publicity. From out of Chicago, he's sensational. Was a bona fide big-time window man. I mean, he cleaned the glass in the Pac-10. Second in rebounding to the Mad Dog, Mr. Madison. Had the best rebounding totals of any freshman in the history of the Pac-10.
And you could tell Dick Vitale even a little more excited than normal as he hears the Irish fight song going on behind him.
It's the best fight song in all of sports.
You got to remain impartial. Matt Doherty in his first year has done a terrific job. We mentioned upsetting Ohio State to get here, and this is a look at his starting lineup. As we mentioned, a young team, but Arizona just as young as well, because Lute Olson will start 2 freshmen in the guard positions, but from those freshmen, he's getting 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists. So he hasn't done too badly in the couple of games that they've played thus far. Dick, Arenas is a guy who really fought his way into this starting lineup.
Well, you know, he has flair and he has a lot of style to his game. The bottom line is, think about this. How many, John, how many teams can you remember ever being in the top 10 in America having 3 guards, their top 3 guards, who never, ever played 1 second of college basketball? That's amazing. And the job Lute Olson has done, I've called him the Frank Lloyd Wright of basketball. 17th year in Arizona, 15 consecutive NCAA berths, national championship in '97. Belongs for consideration in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, I think without question he'll show up there at some point. Arenas has it, drives and foul against the Irish very quickly.
I'll tell you what's impressive with Notre Dame is the fact that they beat Ohio State at Ohio State in a ball control game, and they beat a very good and talented Siena team, well coached by Paul Hewitt, in an up-and-down game.
Jefferson leans in and rattles down the first deuce of the game.
Explosive, can be as good as he wants to be from out of Phoenix. He's got a world of talent.
Jimmy Dillon with the ball now. Arenas steps out and then drops back.
Matchup defense right now. Zone a little surprised. Thought they would play man pressure.
And they get the steal out of the zone. Gardner trying to keep it alive. Does so. Drop down into the paint. Michael Wright drops it home.
Michael's so strong. Arenas made the steal. He's got those long arms out of North Hollywood. Quick timeout by Matt Doherty. There's the look. Going to see the dump down to Wright. And there's Wright with that power layup inside. This South is going to be sensational.
Timeout on the floor. Arizona has the first 2 buckets of the game and lead 4-0.
Rise here as we see right now the zone defense. There they are in the zone. There's the steal by Arenas, the kick out. And then we're going to watch now Gardner with the save, and then they dump it inside to Michael Wright. He's so strong.
And Wright with a chance to convert a 3-point play and give Arizona a quick lead.
There's Matt Doherty. He's put a lot of passion to that sideline. Love his attitude. He wants to win a national championship. I think it's great when your goals are set high, because Notre Dame should have those kind of goals.
You consider how long it's been since they've even been to the NCAA tournament.
10 years, 1989, 1990. Our guy Digger had him, and there was the last time. A decade. Now back to man-to-man. See, they just started out in that zone. Now they're in man-to-man. White and Murphy working hard inside.
Graves cut off, drops it to Murphy, and it drops out of bounds.
Notre Dame can't afford to have this club jump up big and play catch-up basketball against the athletes that they have on the floor. The athleticism and the quickness certainly has to go to Arizona.
Jason Gardner brings it up, met by Jimmy Dillon.
Oh, they're going to
Jefferson wide open. Oh, misses the dunk. I don't know why he reversed that. I think he could have gone straight to the goal from the side he was on.
Yeah, he tried to degree of difficulty, wanted a few more points, but what an explosive first step to the basket.
Dillon lobs it inside for Murphy, who connects.
Nice backdoor cut. Troy Murphy's had a sensational start to the season, averaging 29 a game in his first 3 games. Look at this young backcourt. Gardner, they're going to love, from out of Indianapolis North Central High School.
Woods turns, drops it a little short. Right, fights for the rebound, gets it up on the glass.
They tell me he's got great work ethic. In fact, Jimmy Rosborough said, I've been with Lou for 20 years. He said, I thought the hardest worker was Ronnie Lester at Iowa and David Stoudemire, but they're not even close, was his comment to Mr. Wright.
Wow, that is saying something indeed. Jefferson gets it, drops it down to Woods, turns, jumper, won't stay down, Wright tips it back up. Comes back to Jefferson, who's open for a jumper, and buries it.
Richard Jefferson could be a star. Had some great moments last year, but was up and down. Loren Woods in the middle for the people out there to transfer from out of Wake Forest.
Graves trying to get it inside, but the defense of Arizona making it difficult. Graves back to Murphy.
Murphy's able to go inside and outside. There's an example showing that trifecta.
He heard you there.
Well, at Del Barton High School, played with our buddy Billy Raftery's son down there at Del Barton High School. Came out of Sparta, New Jersey.
I think young Bill Raftery's playing at Columbia now.
I think he's going to redshirt this year. Getting a great education though down at Columbia.
Gardner misses everything. Inglesby swings it to Murphy, thinks about it again, puts it on the floor, hangs in the paint, rolls it down.
I tell you, I rated him one of the top 10 players in America in my magazine, John, and I might have been too low. He might be better than that. The kid is just versatile. He's got great scoring ability.
Jefferson puts it on the floor, drives, cut off by Murphy, but still gets it on the glass.
They can't play him man-to-man. He's too quick, got that great first step. Might see some zone out of Notre Dame. They played some zone against Ohio State, triangle and 2. Learned all those tricks from Dean Smith, Roy Williams. There's the matchup. There's the matchup. Yeah, he's got a Dean Smith franchise. He said, I've been able to get one. I hope I don't mess it up.
Murphy on the baseline, a little long with that shot. Woods gets the rebound.
Jason Gardner, part of a lot of good young freshman guards.
Wright draws a lot of traffic. Swanigan with the rebound.
That's what they want out of Swanigan. Inside play, get on the boards, give him a little physical play on the interior.
Matt Doherty's not going to like that last effort. Arenas halfway down, Wright with the rebound, takes it up and gets hacked.
And that's what Wright does so well. You think of Arizona and all its success. Really, Lute Olson has done a brilliant job there. 15 consecutive, as I said, NCAA berths. What I like about it is the consistency he's brought to the program. I'm going to watch Michael Wright work on the inside. I mean, this guy's a Windex man. I mean, he just loves to go get the ball off the glass. You know, in Chicago, you heard all about Quentin Richardson, Lance Williams, Bobby Simmons. This kid didn't get the recognition there, but I'm going to tell you, when his career is over here, you know he's going to make a lot of cash playing at the next level.
Averaged almost 14 points last year and 9 rebounds as a freshman. Easily won Pac-10 Freshman of the Year.
They did a great job last year. When you consider, John, losing Michael Bibby, Dickerson, and Simon, 3 guys drafted in the NBA. Yet Lute Olson has built the program so solid that they come right back with 22 games, go to the NCAA tournament. And it's ironic, they get beat in the first round on a tip of the buzzer. I guess who tipped it in from Oklahoma? Ryan Humphrey. You know where he is now? He's sitting out at Notre Dame.
Stick around. 12-7, Arizona with the lead. Welcome back. Arizona with a 12-7 lead, and Troy Murphy with 31 against Siena, 35 against St. Francis, and Lute Olson knows he has to figure out a way to stop this guy.
You have to guard him as a shooter outside. You can put the ball on the floor, take it to the hole. Plus, he's an excellent post-up player, and Matt has done a great job, I think, of designing many of the things in the offense to fit with what Troy can do. We've got to keep him off of the free throw line. He's going to get his points. You know, we know that. We just need to make sure that they're field goals and not free throws.
You know why he's concerned about the free throws? He doesn't have much depth on his bench, and he really worries about Murphy getting guys like Wright and Woods into foul trouble. So it's very important, like he said. You look at the totals right here. Adrian Dantley had the all-time record for a freshman, and you know he was a great player. He broke that record. Amazing.
Graves swings it to Inglesby, who's cut off.
See, Graves has got to make some shots and get free on the wing. They're coming out matching up really well on him.
Shot won't stay down, and Arenas has the break now. He has Gardner with him, but takes it right to the goal. No good, and out of bounds.
You can see that explosiveness in transition. They just really fly up and down the floor with every one of their players. They had a 22-0 spurt against Kansas State.
Dillon back in.
Take a look at this transition. There's Arenas going to the goal. He likes zero, and I mean, they're flying up on the rim. They are going to be explosive when these kids get experience. And that's what a tournament like this will do for you, John. You get 4 games that don't count against your total, and that's really great, these exempt games for them. What a young backcourt. I mean, talking about 2 kids out of high school.
Dillon with it. Swanigan thinks about the shot. Carroll throws it up off the back iron, and Wright goes skying for the rebound and gets hacked.
Matt Carroll's a kid that they got to count on at Notre Dame. Had a big game against Siena off the bench. A very capable scorer, a big-time high school player in Pennsylvania, wanted by everyone. John McLeod was able to recruit him and keep him in a program. You know, I thought McLeod was going to do a sensational job at Notre Dame. He brings all the qualities you love. Tremendous person, workaholic, great teacher, but just couldn't close the door in the recruiting wars. And I think that edge is going to go to Matt Doherty. I think he's going to close the door in recruiting.
Well, that's one of the best things about the Dean Smith franchises, is that they come with some terrific recruiting. They learn the same tactics, rather. Roy Williams done it at Kansas. Gardner sends it into Arenas and turns it over.
Young people are going to turn the ball over. John McLeod, a tremendous teacher. I mean, has great knowledge of the game. Players loved him when he was there. But this guy here said he learned so much from Roy Williams, Matt Doherty, about how to put a program together. All the phases of a program. And you can't learn from much better than Roy Williams. 306 wins or 305 in 11 years.
That defense is causing all kinds of problems to the Irish. The ball turned over.
It's the quickness, John. They're having a difficult time against the quickness of Arizona. They're able to adjust on every ball movement.
19 on the shot clock as they get it back into play.
I like that new look Notre Dame with that strip across the front, the Irish.
Oh, you like anything that's got Irish across the front.
Well, I got a little bit Irish in my family, in my home. A few degrees hanging up, none for me, for my daughters.
Shot clock is at 4. Dillon's release no good. Woods with the rebound.
Jimmy Dillon playing that point guard slot. Look at the leadership out of him, some quickness. Feet up, Inglesby to shoot a little more.
Oh, what a powerful move on Palmer by Wright. He has 8 points.
Michael Wright, big, strong, tenacious, and just a big-time P.T. player.
Shot out of the corner is knocked down by Matt Carroll.
See, that's what they need out of Carroll. They need that perimeter shot because that'll stretch the defense, John, and allow them to get better looks inside to Murphy.
Arizona's lead is 5. Jefferson dumps it down to Wright, wants it back, open for 3. Off the mark.
That's an area they've worked on with Jefferson. People were playing off him last year because he had superb quickness and a great first step. They got Woods now playing Murphy. He's going to take him away from the basket. Now go back inside.
Graves dumps it into Murphy. The double team comes and Woods gets the swat.
Loren Woods had it so tough at Wake Forest because he had to follow in the era of the greatest player now in the NBA, Tim Duncan. And everybody thought with his size that he would be Duncan. But there's only one Duncan. But there's a rejection, and they're going to love him in Tucson. But look at him working hard on the defensive end. Now there's a double up on Murphy. See, he's going to draw a lot of attention.
Cura is coming in the floor of Notre Dame, and there's also been some subs come in for Arizona as well. Walton. Murphy powers it off the glass too strong. Loose in the paint. Everyone scrambles for it. Finally, Jefferson ahead to Frazier was intended for, but Dillon cuts it off.
Rhythm and timing so important. It takes time when you got new people on the floor. Last year they counted so much on Jason Terry, who's now sensational with Atlanta. Little screen, step back from the screen.
Akira backed off on the baseline. Working a lot of clock once again. Graves with it now. Dillon puts it on the floor, nowhere to go. Out to Makura, is open for three. Long. Graves with a strong rebound.
And that's Graves working on the offside. Made that dramatic shot to beat the Buckeyes and send Notre Dame into a frenzy heading back to South Bend.
Jefferson lost it, puts it on the floor. Matt scramble. Possession arrow favors Notre Dame.
You know what I loved about Matt Doherty? He said I had the goosebumps when I found out that we beat Siena, that we earned the trip to Madison Square Garden. He said he has 33 relatives here tonight. He grew up, played in the city, played at Holy Trinity, actually, in Long Island High School. Played for Bob McKillop, who does a phenomenal job down at Davidson. He was part of that North Carolina national championship team. 1982, 3-0, first time since Dickler was on that sideline with the carnation on. I mean, he loves it down in South Bend. He's still got his home down there.
He likes being in business with you and I, though, now. He doesn't have near the headaches.
He's going to try to catch me. I got 20 going to my 21st year unbeaten, like 1,100-0.
Murphy loses it going up. Again, Matt scramble. Finally, Gardner comes out of there with it. Looking for Anderson. Like a rugby game we got going right now. Frazier has it.
Gardner very strong physically. He's Mr. Basketball in Indiana.
Walton now. Spins his man. Fadeaway on the baseline. No good. Anderson with a couple of great rebounds. And then Makura gets the block.
Makura, a versatile kid, can play inside and outside. Tough pass right there. Sloppy play, John. Really sloppy play.
Double dribble is now called. Sloppy all around. 11:31 to go in the first half. Arizona by 3. I got earlier about Matt Doherty and his homecoming, of course, being from Long Island. Came here as a player, as an assistant coach, and now as a head coach.
The spine's tingling as you talk. I played here, like you said, exciting. Family in the stands, you know, Bill Bradley, Walt Frazier, DeBusschere, Willis Reed, the whole deal. And then the coach at Kansas, we won 2 preseason NITs. And now to be the head coach, you know, the Garden has a certain horn. You know, the horn is different in the Garden. There's just a different ring to it. The PA announcer, the baskets, the popcorn, the blue section, you know, all the little things about the Garden. I'll have 33 family and friends in the stands, and it'll be a special night for me. I just hope that the team plays well.
Thus far, his team's playing not poorly at all, down by only 3, but you can tell that coach is excited. You know, in his first year, he's going to be excited anyway, but to come back here, tremendous.
You know, he shed a tear when he was named coach at Notre Dame, saying how special it was to be on that campus, the lady on a dome, and to be there as the coach at Notre Dame. And I think that was special with the kids.
Irish in all kinds of problems
against that defense. The defense really making it tough for them to get a good look and good shot. But that's been a trademark of Lute Olson's teams, well coached on a defensive end. You look at the field goal percentage right here early in the game, both under 40%.
Great catch by Murphy. He tries to take it up, winds up just turning it over.
It's tough for him to get a good look, John. He doesn't get anything automatic because of always constant harassment with 2 and 3 people around him.
Anderson dumps it down to Walton.
Yes, that's Bill Walton's son. Look at him. He's like his little dad down in the hole. Oh! I should say his big dad. I tell you, his dad certainly was a school player down in the post and does a great job now teaching big man moves across America.
Don't forget, tomorrow on ESPN, big SEC college football matchup, Mississippi and Mississippi State. Coverage begins with College Game Night presented by Gateway. Deuce McAllister at 317 all-purpose yards against Arkansas, including 100 yards and a kickoff return. That should be a fun game to watch. Murphy drops it in.
Great job of locking down in the post inside. How to play the post. I mean, I believe there are 4 elements to having a successful offensive game plan, and that is one of them, low block play.
Wessel comes over and gets blocked by Murphy.
Averaged 19 points a game and 10 rebounds a game last year as a diaper dandy in the Big East. Led the conference in rebounding, first freshman ever to do that in the Big East.
Irish on a 6-0 run here and can take the lead with this trip. Graves, long-range three off the mark.
Didn't really get a good look right there. I think Matt Doherty would like them to make more passes to reduce the game a little bit.
Arenas dumps it to Wesson. Anderson with it.
He can shoot the ball. His dad played for Lute Olson at Long Beach Community College. First dad and son he's ever coached as a combine.
Dillon gets called for the blocking foul. Yeah, with all the years he's been around, you would have thought that maybe someone else would have showed up. Does that kind of make you a grandfather if you coach the father?
I'll tell you, I'm getting to feel really old. I mean, when I look out there now, the landscape of coaching, Tommy Amica, you look at people like Quinn Snyder at Missouri, Matt Doherty. I mean, I'm looking at all these guys, Steve Walford at Iowa, all this new blood, and it's great having new, exciting guys who learn from such outstanding people that they surrounded themselves with.
Irish almost forced a turnover. Frazier fakes dropping it off the Woods and takes it himself.
Well, Lamont Frazier missed a lot of time with an illness earlier this year in practice. He didn't get the practice time. A junior college player, very quick, very explosive, trying to adjust to learn how to play out at the point.
Murphy, a little pump fake, and it gets hit in the back. And that is the first foul called in this game against Arizona.
That's unbelievable. You know, it's amazing. They lost a player they probably could have utilized. Reuben Douglas, as we see right here. Clemson got beat by Waffle at home. I'm going to salute Waffle. And it doesn't sound like a cereal waffle. Wofford beat Clemson at Clemson to show you the wackiness of college basketball. And I'm saluting Ian Chadwick at 27 in that game. My player of the week, Mr. Chadwick.
Is that official player of the week, or is this just throwing this out early?
I'm just throwing this out. Okay. Dion, he deserves it. You go on a road and beat a team like Clemson and you're Wofford.
Strong move by Woods after the feed from Jefferson.
Jefferson with the good look to his buddy. Loren Woods really has been just taken by the kids. They named him captain of the team.
Scored offensive foul.
Oh, they got him on the offensive foul. Now watch Loren Woods post up inside, seals off really well. There's the catch. There's the drop step. He just needed a change. Wake Forest got an outstanding program. They worked so hard with him, Davey Odom, but he was always down on himself, John, and never felt good about anything he achieved.
Well, I think what you say about Tim Duncan is absolutely true. I mean, you're sitting in there being the guy that's earmarked to follow up Tim Duncan. Those are some pretty big shoes. Wow. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Look at Jefferson Sky for that rebound.
So you can't teach that. He's a skywalker and a high riser. Look at that quickness.
Arenas takes it right to the glass.
Look at him get up and down the court. I mean, that is not Times Square. They're at the Indianapolis Raceway, baby.
Carroll was thinking about dumping it in. Murphy for three, not close. Cotello cleared his man. May have gotten away with a foul. He was so wide open up there.
Quartello's got to give a little play inside. Got to get that size.
Here at Madison Square Garden for game one of the NIT Semifinals. John Saunders and Dick Vitale. And Arizona, no surprise that they are here, but Notre Dame, they drew Ohio State first time out of the gate. Most people had the Buckeyes coming to New York.
Well, I think they even didn't think they had a great shot because they scheduled St. Francis for a Sunday. And you wouldn't have St. Francis on Sunday if you thought you would go into the NIT semifinals. But the bottom line is they went to Ohio State with a good game plan. They rotated defenses, and they neutralized the tremendous backcourt. And Ohio State's going to be sensational. I mean, that backcourt of Red and Penn will be one of the best five in America.
Graves hit that shot that beat the Buckeyes right at the buzzer.
Right on the wing.
We're under 8 minutes to go here in the first half, and it's good. 5-point game. Garden, Arizona with a 20-15 lead, under 8 minutes to go here. And as advertised, we talked about the guys who were freshmen of the year last year in the Big East and in the Pac-10. They have dominated. Michael Wright has done a terrific job for Arizona out of the gate.
Well, partner, he's really done it all, showing his physical presence on the inside, a dominating player. I mean, you take a look at this kid from out of Chicago. There he is defensively working so hard, trying to deny the ball inside to Murphy, rotating over. Now there he is sliding down the lane, sliding and gliding, and there he is doing what he does best, cleaning the glass, baby. And now he's locking in a post inside. A big-time Super South, Michael Wright.
8 points already. You see what he's averaging thus far this season out of the 3 games.
Wow, if you'd have went to the ball and joined those other buddies out of Chicago, I can't wait to see them against Duke next week down at Duke.
Gardner's three is no good. Arenas chases down the loose ball. The Irish really were kind of standing around. Arenas three goes up and drops through.
I'll tell you, he's got a lot of confidence, too. He really has a tremendous amount of confidence. Wasn't as highly acclaimed as a lot of kids, but they think he's going to be special.
Largest lead of the game. Murphy rejected by Woods.
And there's the presence of a shot blocker inside. Woods, the biggest they've had since they had the big guy Stokes there years ago. I remember when they had all those big guys, Brian Williams and Stokes, and oh man, they were big. Now look at this. They're working out. Watch Woods rotate down right from the back. Murphy doesn't know he's coming from behind him.
Arenas three, no good. All kinds of contact up there. That'll still belong to Arizona.
You know what I love about the great coaches? They're so consistent. They lose players, and they just reload and come back. You think about guys like certainly Olsen and Roy Williams and Krzyzewski and the John Cheneys. And those guys, year after year, they're right there winning their 20 games.
Foul goes against the Irish away from the basketball.
You know, Arizona really excited about Luke Recker, transfer from out of Indiana. Right. They said he's really quick. Oh, there's one of the best. Look at it right here. Luigi Carnesecca's in the house. The Paisan is here, baby. And he better eat linguine tomorrow, not just turkey, if he wants to be a real Italiano.
They stuff the turkey with linguine, don't you?
Hey, let me just say this, guys. Jefferson's on the line. Recker, they say, is really looking good at practice, and he's matching up every day against Arenas and against Jefferson, and they expect him to be special. Averaged 16 a game, went through a dramatic situation.
Just should be happy to be alive.
Exactly. The driver of the car in that accident was killed, and his girlfriend has been injured severely. They know she has a little movement now in her toes, but she's been paralyzed, legs and arms, and her brother's in a coma. Just an unbelievable, unfortunate incident.
Basketball meaning absolutely nothing when you line it up against what those realities of life. Again from the outside, Jason Gardner.
You're going to hear that name a lot. Jason Gardner is going to be sensational, just as Jason Williams will be down at Duke and Frank Williams at Illinois. A lot of new freshman guards on the scene.
Irish again. Carroll comes around off of the screen, can't get the shot to fall.
Getting one shot. Michael Wright keeping the ball alive. There's the strength and the quickness of Gardner.
Gardner to Arenas. Look at Wright crash the glass. There were 4 gold jerseys, and Wright was the one who got his hand on the ball.
This Arizona team's going to get better and better as the season progresses with the more experience they get playing together with one another. Watch Oregon in that conference. Oregon could be really outstanding in the Pac-10.
13-2 run over the last 4, and very close to being 16-2 run as Arenas' shot just wouldn't fall.
And that's what they do so well. They put spurts on you. I mean, last year they had a 27-0 spurt against Kansas State. 22-0 this year.
With some changes as Walton comes back in the game.
He can pass the basketball. His younger brother might be the best of all the Waltons, and he signed with Steve Fisher at San Diego State. He's got another brother playing at Princeton and one playing at Cal Poly. Bill Walton has done his own team. He's done a heck of a job because they've all got tremendous IQs as well and really understand the game.
That was going to be a backdoor for Murphy, but Loren Woods read it perfectly, got up and knocked the ball away. Now he spins baseline, is cut off. Oh, offensive foul, and I'm not sure about that one. Cartello,
he's saying,
I barely touched.
Loren's saying, what did I do? Loren seems so content, so happy. He came over to spend some time with me last night along with Super Garf, Mr. Howard Garfinkel at dinner. See, watch him lock it inside now. We're going to see that spin. Oh, here's the push. There's the push. The forearm, no doubt about it. Good call by
Didn't knock him over, though.
Yeah, good call.
I don't think that's what knocked him over. I think there was some embellishment. Inglesby to Graves. Cartello hits the deck again. Graves, floater in the lane, dances on the iron and drops.
David Graves sliding down our line, played at Lexington Catholic High School in Kentucky.
Arenas looking for a help. Jefferson finds him.
They put such pressure on you the way they run the ball up the court. You better get back in defense and transition against Arizona. Man-to-man by Notre Dame.
Jefferson cut off. Back out to Walton on the baseline. No good. Woods with the rebound, trying for a circus pass underneath.
He's an excellent passer. That was a little hot dog, a little mustard on that baby, but he's an excellent passer for a big player. They just want to see him get tougher. Lute also would like to see him become a little bit more aggressive. You talk about a guy that's had a tough year. Think about this. His beautiful wife, Bobby, who's one of the great coaching wives, came down with ovarian cancer. One of his assistant coaches who we love dearly, Ricky Birdsong, and a hate crime that just tears your stomach to think that exists in our country. Loses his life while jogging, gets shot by a wacko.
An idiot.
And then you talk about, as you see the block shot by Woods, Sean Elliott, kidney transplant, Luke Recker in that accident, all within a year. Has really worn on Luke. He's handled it exceptionally well.
As you would expect from Lute Olson, just a quiet class that you don't see in a lot of coaches.
Well, you know what I'm happy about, too, as he said, his wife, Bobby, has really done a super job. She's so courageous, and she's been able to, she's really done a great job coming back from that disease. And, Bobby, we wish you the best. I know he's all excited. She's going to be down in Turkey Land with her kids and family down in Tucson. He'd like to be there, but he also is up here fulfilling his responsibility and trying to bring the third trophy. I mean, they won it in 90 and 95.
Yeah, this is a chance to get their third of the decade and close out the millennium.
95, they beat Michigan with Robert Traylor, and then they beat Allen Iverson, and I thought Reggie Geary got really a raw deal. Should have been on the all-NIT team. I mean, he shut down Victor Page. I don't know if it brought tears to your eyes. Georgetown, you were watching on TV as he shut him down, locked him up, and the kid didn't make the all-NIT team.
It was a good Georgetown team.
Yeah, it was.
Harrington, Jerome Williams.
And Mr. Iverson.
Swanigan with it now. Ingoldsby.
Ingoldsby's got to get some looks. He was 5 for 7 shooting the 3 in the first 2 games. Gardner really matching up on him.
Shot clock at 15 now. Long range 3 misses everything.
Yeah, he's got to make that shot.
Frazier pulls up knowing he's got a rebounder going down there in Wessel and Walton, but the shot won't go.
Good rebound by Swanigan. Ingoldsby's dad played in '71 in a final game against UCLA from Villanova with Chris Ford and Howard Porter.
Akira fights his way to the goal, and there's 3 white jerseys to meet him, but he gets fouled.
Nice drive down the lane. Hey, to show the toughness of Matt Doherty, you ready for this? They played Marathon Oil, got beat by 23. The next day, they thought they weren't going to have practice. He brought them into the pit, and he made them run, and they chant this in their huddle every day thinking about it when they come out of floor. 304 sprints they were throwing up. They were crying. They were actually in pain. Troy Murphy said it was the toughest workout he's ever been involved in. He said he was upset.
304?
Yeah, he was upset, Mr. Doherty, because the papers wrote that they were lackadaisical. And he said, I've been named and called a lot of things, but lackadaisical better never be one of them.
I have a feeling won't be called that again anytime soon. Arizona has the lead. Notre Dame finds itself down 27-18 with about 3.5 to go in the first half. Don't forget, Providence and Michigan State from San Juan. Now, Michigan State, probably the best team in the country, Dick. I think you would agree, if Mateen Cleaves is available. Right now, still, do you think they're good enough to be number 2?
Well, I don't know about number 2 right now. Tom Izzo certainly doesn't think so. The other day, he talked about sports talk as you see Kansas coming up on Thursday with Georgia. You know what's amazing about Kansas? It all started for Roy Williams, I believe, at the Great Alaska Shootout when he won his first game as the coach of Kansas in 1988. Matt Doherty served as an assistant for a number of years with Roy, learned so much from Roy, and since that first win over Alaska Anchorage, he's won 304 more games in 11 years. I mean, try to divide 11 into 304. I can't even handle that math. That's 27 wins a year and better. Oh my God, that's unbelievable, Roy Williams.
Jim Herrick, of course, in his first year as head coach of Georgia. Jefferson's jumper is good.
I really like him, John. I really think this kid can be a special player, a big-time star. He's just got to focus, concentrate, and want to be a player, and listen to that coaching staff, because they can really take him and make him something special.
Carroll, and again, it's clear the Irish are having a tough time solving this defense.
Plus the quickness. They don't get good looks that easily against this kind of quickness.
Murphy pulls up, banks it up the glass, no good, whacked out of bounds. Come back to the Irish.
And they have that great spurt ability, which really creates problems for you. Matt Doherty wants to rebuild Notre Dame to the days of Digger Phelps in the 70s and the 80s.
Inglesby finally from the outside.
And that's what they need. They need a few trifectas, hang around, shut down a spurt, and get a little confidence. They got to play at a slower pace. They cannot run up and down the floor with Arizona.
Jefferson loses it. Inglesby takes it to the glass. Oh, my goodness. Jefferson almost put it right through the glass.
Did you see them converge on that basketball? That's the quickness I'm talking about. They're quick in transition from offense to defense, defense to offense. Now take a look here. Inglesby in most cases will have a layup right here. But there's Mr. Richard Jefferson with a great angle. He says, get it out of here, Martin. Get it out of here.
They better check and make sure that thing is still inflated.
Well, at least they're going to go to the free throw line. You know, I was talking about, as you see the great block shot by Jefferson with that good angle. When you think about Digger and some of the great players he had, you just talked about Adrian Dantley. You think of John Shoemate and Gary Brokaw, both New Jersey guys. You think about Kelly Tripucka from out of New Jersey.
You know who I saw last night? Tim Kempton.
Oh, LaFonso Ellis. I like Kempton, good role player, but he's not in the class of the guys I mentioned right here.
I just actually happened to see him last night.
But another
and he had a pretty good long NBA career.
Oh, yeah, solid NBA career.
Wants to get into this business.
Wow. Everybody wants this business.
Everybody wants your job, Dick.
Everybody wants it. But if I survive 20 years, 2021. The question is, how many more can I survive?
The Irish in his zone here now. Walton throws it back out to Frazier. Jefferson to the baseline, pulls up, rainbow, rattles down.
Richard Jefferson showing that he's worked on improving his perimeter shot, because there's no doubt that he can face up on you and attack the basket. Woods very active for a big guy. Quick, he's coming out, he's able to chase Murphy all over the court. He gets a lot of help. That's a walk.
Yeah, I could see that coming. Cartello had no idea what to do with it and took a couple of steps. Halftime, courtyard by Marriott. We'll get to hear from the former Irish coach, Digger Phelps, who's with Larry Beal. And we'll have a preview of the Maui Championship as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Purdue and North Carolina. You know, I wonder if my guy Bob Carpenter took Billy Raftery out to Longie's and bought him a meal. I wonder if he took him out to spend some money.
Bob Carpenter ought to send the money to me. I did that tournament for 6 straight years.
I know. It's unbelievable. You're down in Hawaii. Raftery's in Hawaii. Jim O'Connell from the AP's in Hawaii. His buddy Hal Bach is over here covering from the AP. And I get New York. I never get Maui.
Somehow I lost the gig, though. Now I'm next to you in the NIT, but that's okay. And if you want to see every one of the games you're talking about, every one of the games that you'll be on, ESPN Full Court, this is the greatest thing. Over 450 games a chance to see. All your favorite teams. You want to know what's going on in college basketball. 1-800-DIRECT-TV or the Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
Hey, there's the Leprechaun down in Notre Dame.
You ever dress up in that get up?
No, but I've spoken at their pep rally. I just love the school.
I know you do. Well, your daughters played tennis there. They're great tennis players.
Well, my both girls graduated, got their MBAs as well. Lucky that intellectually and physically to take after their mom, Lorraine, not their dad. Because I couldn't spell Notre Dame. I couldn't get near that school. But I got an honorary alum degree.
Wood's shot comes up short. It's amazing what a few dollars will get you. Walton open. Misses it. Carroll with the rebound. Gives it to Inglesby.
They want to get into Murphy now. He's wide open. They missed him. See, he had the right angle for him. He really knows how to post exceptionally well inside.
They're acting the last couple of trips like they don't even see him down there. Murphy now comes to the ball. Gardner launches a 3 that's good.
Graves nails that 3. Graves hits that big 3. He's about a Lexington Catholic. Played with Rick Pitino's son, Michael Pitino, who's a student at Notre Dame, and played a little part in his recruiting.
Final 17 seconds. Shot clock is off, so Arizona will spread the floor. And
good move right here. Showed some patience. Jason Gardner. You know, they had 2 great wins to get here. They beat Kansas State, and then they blew out the second half. New Mexico State was very good. Arizona. Ludu's got a heck of a club down there at New Mexico State with 4 starters back, and Arizona putting the blitz up. I think Notre Dame's very lucky to be going in down 7, John.
Richard Jefferson with a terrific first half. 5 of 7 from the field, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Part of the reason Arizona has a 7-point lead. The second half of game 1 of the NIT semifinals is coming up. But right now, let's go back to Larry Beal and Digger Phelps.
All right, thanks, guys. Is it me, or as I'm watching this game, every time the Arizona guys have the ball, it almost seems like somebody's speeding up the table? But those guys, they have athletes who could fly.
But I think the Irish patience has been important. Of course, Richardson Jefferson getting the 11 points at the end of that half. In the beginning of the game, it's Michael Wright. I think that's the explosiveness and the quickness of Arizona. But give Troy Murphy, the power guy inside, that's the reason why the Irish are tough, and it allows the other guys to get the perimeter shots, which you saw David Graves hit right before halftime.
A lot to get to on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. We will preview Game 2 coming up from the Garden. The artist currently known as Prince, Tayshaun Prince in Kentucky, getting set for Maryland.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the preseason NIT is brought to you by BarnesandNoble.com. If we don't have your book, nobody. The preseason NIT is brought to you by Sabine. Pants that look good no matter what you're doing.
Welcome back once again to Madison Square Garden for game number 1 of the NIT semifinals. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona with a 7-point lead at halftime. John Saunders alongside Dick Vitale. And what we saw clearly in the first half was an inability by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to find a way to solve the quickness of Arizona.
Well, especially they could not really match up with Richard Jefferson. Jefferson had a sensational first half, very active. He and his buddy Michael Wright, 2 super souths. You take a look at Jefferson Wright, look, he's got a smile on his face. Now we know he can slash and get to the basket, but this is an area where he's really worked. Backing up, shooting the open jump shot. So he's got to make this shot because people are not going to guard him that closely. And he has really improved in that area. Shot 5 for 7 in the first half. And really his quickness, really I thought was the difference in the first half.
Here's a look at the first half stats brought to you by Zales. Neither team shooting it very well from outside the arc or inside. See Arizona with the advantage in the steals and the rebounds.
Well, the one area that they did a great job, Arizona, is keep Murphy off the free throw line. He was only 1 for 2. Murphy's had a history of getting to the line as you look at Troy Murphy, and really the kid is without a doubt one of the dominant players in college basketball. Got 9 points, and he's had all kinds of congestion, people all around him. Almost like walking on Times Square today, John. I couldn't believe it. It was so congested.
You're like Elvis when you go down there.
Oh, but it was so congested. Beautiful people, though. Love the people.
Great time of year, the holiday season. Graves from the outside, no good. Jefferson comes up with it.
Next 4 minutes, so big for Notre Dame. They got to go on a little run here. I think the next 4 minutes will dictate whether or not they'll hang in this basketball game.
Swanigan moves it around. They get it down to Murphy, and again, Woods with the block.
I'll tell you, Woods adds a special personality and a dimension, a shot blocker on the interior. And when you have that, that is really such an asset to your defensive scheme. Now look at Woods working on the defensive end. Now there he is, great timing, doesn't foul, stays present on the floor. That's going to create a lot of opportunities for Arizona in transition, his block shot.
4 block shots for Woods, 3 of them on Murphy.
He's getting the angle on Murphy, and many a time he's sneaking up behind him. Little zone by Notre Dame right now. A little matchup. They also play a little triangle in 2, which they played against Ohio State against the 2 guards. Pen in red. It's a 2-3 right here.
Be interesting to see if they can find the seams. And what a powerful move by Wright.
Well, Wright does a great job getting into the gap of that 2-3 and then has the super body strength to get to the basket.
10 points for Wright.
I think it's still a good decision for Matt Doherty to utilize the zone to try and neutralize the speed and quickness of Arizona.
Swanigan wants it. Graves comes off a screen and launches a 3 that's good.
And that's what they need. They need David Graves to knock that 3 down.
points for Graves.
See, I think they got a better chance of matching up out of the zone than they do if they played a man-to-man.
Jefferson from deep, no good. Rebounded by Murphy.
And you got to take that gamble in terms of allowing Jefferson to get good looks at the basket. Because you're not going to be able to come out and extend defensively against him with his quickness.
Still 18 minutes left in the game, but this a big possession for Notre Dame. Murphy goes baseline, gets up on the glass.
Great execution by Notre Dame. I love the animation of Matt Doherty on that sideline. I tell you, his heart and soul is in the game.
Nice pass by Jefferson down to Arenas.
And there's Arenas with that quickness, and Jefferson finds the open man. There's going to be an outstanding transition team, Arizona.
Gardner steps out to meet Dillon.
Jimmy Dillon's trying to give him some leadership, floor play, take a little pressure away from Martin Inglesby, handling the basketball, getting him free for some shots.
Graves again around Swanigan. Graves finds an opening, takes it to the glass.
Nice drive, Graves. Played with Pitino's son, as I said earlier, likes to count them. In fact, Tubby Smith's son's playing there as a 9th grader. His zone, they're staying in his zone.
That's an NBA three from Gardner.
You're going to remember that name, Jason Gardner. He's going to be another outstanding point guard in a line of outstanding point guards at Arizona. Michael Bibby, you think about Steve Kerr.
Inglesby,
they're heating it up right now, John. You think about David Stoudemire.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, that's one of his favorite players. One of the reasons he fell in love with Arizona was David Stoudemire.
Got some things in common with him, about the same size.
Stoudemire, that great Portland team now.
There's a reach in on Woods.
You know, a lot of people really wonder why a kid like Jason Gardner would go from Indianapolis down to Arizona. And I'll tell you what really helped Arizona was playing in a national championship in 1997 in Indianapolis. Lute Olson told me that really set the tone for them to recruit Jason Gardner.
Don't you think a national championship, I mean, it brings a lot of recruits your way, but a national championship has got to be good for 1 or 2 major recruits in one of the following seasons, first or second season.
Well, it doesn't hurt that kind of visibility, that exposure. It doesn't hurt, John. I can tell you that. There's Woods stroking the free throws.
To make that run, you got Dick Vitale talking for a month about what a great genius this coach is, and that coach is. It helps.
And Billy Paca talking about CBS.
Murphy shot off the mark.
When they just went for $6 billion for the contract. Why not the NCAA keep $5 billion and give $1 billion to the kids?
Oh, what a great drive and reversal by Jefferson.
And that's the explosiveness he possesses. I really mean it, John. They should take $1 billion, invest it, and let the kids at least get $250 per month.
I agree. I've always agreed with you on that there should be another stipend.
And Dean Smith said it recently as well.
Lobbed inside to Jefferson, tries to get it up over the iron, gets his own rebound. Nice job to Wright. Wright then rolls it in.
Michael Wright heading for big-time stardom. Just has the great attitude, the mental toughness, a workaholic. Understands how to listen to the coaching staff. Jimmy Rosborough, an outstanding assistant coach. Really loves his work ethic.
Inglesby thinks about the three, gives it back to Dillon. Murphy now. Graves puts it on the floor, back out to Dillon, rolled out of bounds. It'll still be Irish basketball, but with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jefferson had 11 points in the first half. He's got it going early in the second half as well. Arizona with an 11-point lead over Notre Dame. Now, it's just the start of the basketball season, but these are two of the most disappointing college football teams in the country, Arizona and Notre Dame. So that nice segue into the reminder that everybody gets to see Texas and Texas A&M. Texas up to number 5 and headed towards the Big 12 championship game. Nebraska and Colorado. This is going to be so interesting, Dick. Nebraska beats Colorado, and then if they win the Big 12 championship game, there's a shot that they're going to pass Virginia Tech in the BCS, even though they have a loss.
And that would be a crime if Virginia Tech would go to undefeated and not have a chance to play for a national title. And that's why college basketball is so much better, as they knock down that trifecta from the wing. You play it, you earn it. No computer dictates who's going to be the national champion.
Playoff would be the answer, but it's not there right now. So,
I mean, it's better than it used to be. At least
yes,
it gets down to number 1 and number 2. That three by Notre Dame was big. That was a big, big three. I tell you, David Graves will provide that for Matt Doherty. You know, Matt, and you think about the travel situation, and Lute Olson, they were supposed to fly here on Monday night. The plane was fogged. They were told to go back home. They had a 7 a.m. flight Tuesday. There were mechanical problems as Loren Woods scores on the inbounds play. And they didn't get here until like 8:30 last night. And it's the first time, Jimmy Rosborough told me, in over 20 years, they can ever remember not practicing a day before the game.
I don't want to hear any traveling problems.
I know you were part of it.
I feel my own. I was coming from Arizona as well and couldn't get out because of the fog. Murphy, strong move, and Woods swats it again.
I tell you, Loren Woods really adding so much to the interior defense of Arizona. And then what about Matt Doherty? Let's wish a speedy recovery for his little kid, Matt Jr. As you watch Murphy inside. They were going to the airport yesterday, 2 years old. He tries to jump over the stanchion at the airport, breaks his leg. He's in a body cast. Matt had to send the team out here, and he had to stay back with his beautiful wife, Kelly, and their little daughter, Hattie. And the good news is Matt said he's going to be fine. It's just that it's going to take a little time for that leg to heal.
Yeah, that's little kids getting hurt. Trying to be a young basketball player a little too early. The good news, as you said, everybody's going to be okay.
And Matt likes to joke a little bit. He said, you know what? He was just like his dad. He couldn't jump.
Dylan with it, and again, Arizona forces them to use a lot of clock. The drive by Graves is good.
I tell you, Graves really playing a heck of a basketball game.
17 points for Graves.
Yeah, providing that point production on that wing.
Woods draws a double team. Nice find to Arenas out, and perfect.
What an excellent passer. He has the ability to utilize the zigzag pass. He has the great size to look over the defense, and he brings it right to Arenas, who knows how to score from out of North Hollywood, California.
Great recognition that the double team was there. Graves draws a crowd. Dylan thinks about it. Inglesby for three. Short and strong rebound by Wright.
They're really having a difficult time getting good looks from Murphy. Arizona really matching up well and keeping the ball out of Murphy's hands.
Jefferson drives in amongst three gold jerseys.
We're going to take a look right now at the passing ability of Woods. He's going to post it inside. Freeze it. See, look at the great size. Now he will look right off to here, and there's the zigzag pass. Going to come up right now, and there's the look at the double team, and there's Arenas. GA knows how to knock it down.
Jefferson a little short on that offering. And
you know, I saw Stanford, John, and they're going to be outstanding. They came here to New York, and the Pac-10 won the Coaches versus Cancer, a tournament that had Connecticut and had Duke and Iowa, and Iowa shocked America by beating Connecticut, having Duke and Connecticut playing a consolation. I think Duke, though, is going to get better and better. They're starting to get Boozer involved a little bit on the inside. His leg is getting better. And I think he'll provide a little offensive firepower on the baseline.
That's a lot of changes on that team. I mean,
oh, a lot of changes.
Just because they have the Duke across the front of the jersey and Mike Krzyzewski's on the sideline doesn't make it all come easy.
It makes everybody else play at another level against you. You got to respond to that.
Exactly. Right. Trying to put up a circus shot, and as a result, gets fouled.
Arizona going to be in that grade 8, hooking up with Connecticut and UConn. Seems like they're all getting it together now. The big win over UMass, where their big people really contributed. Solomon Juan was big on the inside with Voskuhl and Saunders.
I think that was the best game I had seen Solomon Juan play.
Arizona adds Luke Record to this club next year. What a rotation they're going to have.
That's the other exciting thing about the 4 teams that we have here in the semifinals is they're all young teams.
As Maryland getting ready to go to the locker room, Gary Williams had his 400th W the other day against San Francisco, beat Tulane. Even though they've been dominated on the glass, they're going to have to rebound tonight against Kentucky because Kentucky will get up on the glass.
That one's coming up next, of course. This is the biggest lead of the game right now for Arizona at 13 with 13 minutes left.
Yeah, danger time right now for Notre Dame. Almost every possession has to come up positive. You know, last time they were here was in 1990, and they played against Arizona in the semifinals. The last time they've been here.
Digger Phelps on the side?
Yeah, Digger had him on the sideline.
How'd they do?
Don't ask me to score. No. Hey, Digger, he wants me to ask me to score.
What was the score?
91-61.
Oh, jeez.
But at least he was here. He brought him to New York.
I'll tell you what, Digger was probably in the finest restaurants.
No doubt about it.
He was probably at the art galleries.
No doubt
probably
about
went
it.
to see a couple of Broadway shows.
No doubt about it.
And they lost by 30.
And he had the finest clothes on, man. We give him all his PR. He never gives us PR, John. It's a one-way street. That's the last time I mentioned his name. No longer tonight will I say the name Richard Digger Phelps.
Mr. Phelps, I presume. Woods again draws a crowd. This time he tries to dribble his way out of it. And the Irish come up with the steal.
Now watch how tough they play on the inside.
Dillon.
Murphy has such a difficult time trying to get free for a shot.
McCura, that's an offensive foul. There was nothing there, and Wright was in the good position.
Yeah, just good, solid team defense, rotating over, giving help to one another. You know, you think of Arizona and the great players they've had. I would say the best they've ever had under Lute Olson has to be Sean Elliott. Then I would say David Stoudemire.
David Stoudemire.
My third would probably be Michael Bibby. I don't know if
Michael Bibby's struggling in the NBA.
And then I'd put in there Chris Mills. Chris Mills was sensational when he came to Arizona. And Michael Dickerson. I'd put him in my top 5.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry's right there knocking on the door. Doing a great job in Atlanta. I could never understand Golden State. I like Mookie Blaylock, but he's up in years, making that move and not taking Terry.
Murphy grabs the rebound for the Frazier miss.
It's been a long time since Murphy's had a good look at the basket.
Dillon to Murphy. And even though he can make that shot, I'm sure Arizona's quite content to have Murphy stay up there around the three-point arc.
Well, they want to keep him away from the free throw line, and they've done a phenomenal job of that. And that was one of their items they had on the board to win the basketball game.
Martello pulls up, and another block by Loren Woods.
He telegraphed that, baby. Loren saw that one coming all the way.
6 blocks for Woods. They barely beat the shot clock. And now Gardner with the push.
He runs really well, the big guy at 7'1". He's got to get more touches inside. They got to get him involved offensively. Keep the big guy happy.
He's got it now.
They got to keep him happy. Oh, that's a super move, baby. I'll tell you, 7'1" with that agility and mobility. I think he's going to add so much to that Arizona program. He's relaxed.
8 points to go with the 6 blocks.
Told me last night I'm having fun.
Murphy frees himself with a little shoulder. Woods hits the deck. He wanted a foul, and Murphy's got 13 points.
I'm not convinced that Murphy will not make a lot of All-American first teams before the year's over. That's how good he will be this year.
Long 3 again. McCura chases down the rebound.
Jason Gardner is using the line in the NBA.
I was going to say, he sees that first line, and he's going after that.
They had a look at Murphy, and they missed him. Now, Michael Wright playing him.
Terrell for outside, no good. Frazier skies for the rebound.
He's very athletic, Frazier.
Trying for Wright, but Dillon got a hand on it and tipped it out of bounds.
I think it's amazing to think that you can win big, and your 3 top guards never played a minute. As you look at Loren Woods, blocking shots. Rejection City. Thou shalt not bring it in thy lane, says Mr. Woods. And then he shows acrobatic ability on a base. Hey, John, Arizona with that 13-point lead. The next 5 minutes, Notre Dame's got to get a spurt. See, they have a tough time getting a spurt. Hey, there's the Coach Pastner, Josh Pastner. Hey, amazing story, number 12. Got his college degree in 2.5 years, will have his master's in 3.5 years, and will be a coach. He writes letters. He understands the game. He coached an AAU team in Houston to a championship. The kid is going to be an outstanding coach somewhere in America. If you're listening, AD, call Josh Pastner. He's a winner, baby.
He's been like a coach ever since he came out of high school and joined the team. Frazier takes it in and misses the layup.
Well, you're going to go over, you jam that, or you lay it on the other side, and you use the backboard, you put it right on the glass.
Swanigan swings it.
See, they don't hit Murphy at the right time. He gets over for a split second because he posts well. You got to get him the basketball.
Turned over as Walton tried to just save it in bounds. Murphy launches a 3 that's good.
Oh, I just love watching him play. I love him because he's got a great attitude. The same with Michael Wright. They play the game with a passion, with a feeling, with great work ethic.
Walton back out to Gardner's 3 is off the mark. Swanigan with a strong rebound in the paint.
He's from out of Kentucky as well, Swanigan. And the Notre Dame kids are excited playing here in the Garden. They've played in the past, as they call a foul down low. But always in the past, John, it was something they didn't like. They played 11 o'clock in the morning. They played the 8-9 game.
Right.
It really was a game. Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. They said, now we're coming to the Garden with some purpose, and we've earned the right to be here.
Arizona goes for wholesale changes. Wessel, Walton, and Frazier will return to the bench.
You know what? I think Matt Darty's done really well. And Mike Krzyzewski did the same when he took over that Duke program. He went after the best. He lost out on Chris Duhon, who's going to be an outstanding guard from Louisiana at Duke, committed to Duke. He lost out on Jared Jeffries. He misses the three from outside. Graves. He lost out in the recruitment of Jared Jeffries to Indiana. But he went after the best. He sent a message, I'm going after the best. And the first year Coach Krzyzewski was at Duke, he missed out on Chris Mullen and a host of players. But eventually they say yes. Because Notre Dame, and I know I'm a little biased, along with Stanford and along with Duke, are the three best private schools in America. As Mr. Arenas knocks
with the three.
When I say best private, I'm talking about combining academics, athletics, and the whole, looking at everything. Those three schools just stand out.
Swanigan takes it up right at Woods. And that's been tough to do tonight.
Good move by Swanigan on the inside.
His first deuce. Look at that drive by Jefferson. And he winds up committing the offensive foul. Swanigan suddenly has got the Irish going.
Well, a little out of control right there by Jefferson. People were playing way off him, and he tried to find some lane to the basket. You mentioned about me being biased, but hey, I got two girls graduate there, both get their MBAs. One marries a guy that graduates there and was an athlete, now an orthopedic surgeon. The other one is going to get married to a guy that was the quarterback there. Thomas Krug is a backup, now in law school. So we got Notre Dame all over our house, John. We got a wall with all Notre Dame pictures. 10 degrees. I love the place. The lady on the dome, I get goosebumps when I walk on that campus.
You know, Matt Doherty might have an assistant's job if you'd like to go back. Maybe Bob Davey, too. I know you're a big football fan. You go to every home game, don't you?
I try to. In 7 years, I missed about 3 or 4. I'm crying right now, so don't bring it up, please. I know he's working real hard, Coach Davey. It's a tough situation right now. A lot of injuries.
Shot clock at 4. And that is fortunate.
They got a hold on Murphy.
Because they had nothing going with the shot clock at about 3. And Murphy out by the free throw line with his back to the basket. Notre Dame's got to get it going. Back Arizona with an 11-point lead at 56-45. And don't forget, we got the second half of a doubleheader here from Madison Square Garden. Terrence Morris from Maryland, Jamal McGore of Kentucky. That one should be a fun one to watch. About 8 o'clock Eastern time, or about 20 minutes after we're done with this game. Then the Maui Invitational Championship game, Purdue and North Carolina. That is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, you know, Gene Kiddie's done a great job. 5 seniors showed their maturity, their experience, and beat Florida. As Billy Donovan said so well, we got a bunch of individuals right now have to learn to play as a team. Now, these teams will be in that big ACC Big Ten Challenge, Purdue and NC State. And you look at Michigan State going to hook up with North Carolina. I can't wait to get to Chapel Hill for that matchup.
When you hook up 2 conferences like the Big Ten and the ACC this early, nice touch by Murphy.
So smooth. He's so smooth. He's got the velvet touch from out of Del Martin High School in New Jersey.
18 points as well now for Murphy.
Is that zone trying to match up, slow down Arizona.
Woods finds the seam.
Did a great job getting in that gap. You've been talking about seams and gaps. I'm going to make you the analyst. It's unbelievable.
It's basketball season.
Hey, I wonder if Bob Carpenter and Billy Rafferty get back in time from the golf course to be there in Maui. What beautiful golf course. When I go there, I got to pay. I go to Maui on a vacation. They go there, and ESPN pays for it. It's unbelievable. It's not fair, John. I've been there 21 years.
Murphy can't get it to go. He's not getting any satisfaction either, Dick. Jefferson pumps it into right. There's a couple of guys in the air. Nice duck under.
What a great, strong, low post move. How to play in the blocks. See, I really believe there are 4 elements to a keys offensively. You better have a low block game. You better have a mid-range game from 12 to 17 feet. And you better have a perimeter 3-point shooting game. And you better be good in special situations, making threes and attacking pressure.
Arenas came up with the steal and then gets fouled. Here's another look, Dick.
Well, I'm going to take a look at a big-time star in the making right here. Michael Wright had 12 double-doubles. Look at the head fake, good ball fake, and most of all, good footwork, good pivot move on the inside. That's
16
teaching.
points, 8 rebounds, 6 of 7 from the field for Wright.
That's teaching. I mean, their coaching staff really works. Coach John and Coach Tenchin and Coach Rosborough, along with Mr. Olson, who, you ready for this, John? It's unbelievable. He's won 8. You ready for this? 8 Pac-10 championships, 3 times to the Final Four in 88, 94, and 97. National championship, 15 consecutive NCAA berths. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Deserves it.
Wright, another nice touch.
Magnificent. Mr. Wright is absolutely magnificent in the post.
Outside from Matt Carroll, it's good for 3.
And that's his reputation. Coming out of high school, big time, some prolific shooter from the wing. And they're going to need his jump shot.
It's 12.
He's got to add the other parts to his game, but you know, that comes. You're a freshman, played 3 games in college, a big adjustment for some kids.
Every time it looks like Arizona's just going to bury them, Notre Dame comes down and knocks down a 3.
They got some pretty good shooters. That's the one strength of their club.
Wright's going to get hit with the foul. Went after his own rebound, tried to hold back, but that's his 3rd foul of the game.
They're going to win their share of games this year, Notre Dame, especially at home. They're starting to develop a little home court fever. There's a little excitement on the campus now. Matt Doherty developed that the first day he was named as coach. He got involved with the students, and then he played in a bookstore league. And you know this, the president of Notre Dame, Monk Malloy, played with John Thompson and Tom Hoover, who played for the Knicks in Villanova, for Archbishop Carroll High School in Washington, D.C. And Father McLeod even played in a bookstore league. Big-time jump shooter.
Graves with the miss. You talk about Lute Olson for the Hall of Fame, and he does deserve to go there. Congratulations to John Thompson for being inducted this year.
Oh, yeah. John Chaney deserves there as well.
We got a technical foul called against Doherty as he left his seat. He was absolutely sure that the call should have gone the other way.
Well, you know, Matt, very animated on the sideline. A lot of people thought he'd be a very passive guy. He pours his heart out, his emotion out. And I think that runs off with his team. He wants to show the kids that he's not going to settle for anything less than a great effort.
I think he had a beef there as well. That ball.
You think coaches sometimes have beefs about that? You really do? Yes. My guy's been traveling all day, planes delayed. He's working extra overtime, working in football, basketball.
I'll tell you what, they said, John, you know, we'll give you a chance to get out of it. And he said, who am I working with? He said, Vital. I said, oh, no problem. I don't have to talk that much.
You mean I talk a lot? I thought I was shy.
Oh, Gardner, nice little pass down to Anderson.
Gardner with the good look to Anderson, who provides good shooting ability. Anderson, a very versatile player from the bench.
Murphy's been having problems when he gets the ball down in the block. Swanigan goes up. Everything is challenged.
Murphy with the tip.
And so active. Every time he comes down there, and the foul goes against Dillon.
And Jimmy Dillon almost picked the pocket of Jason Gardner. Very solid play. What I like about Gardner, he has not forced the action, plays under control, looks to get his teammates involved. He's not just trying to beat people one-on-one and trying to show everybody. A lot of times you get young kids in a place like this, as you watch Gardner dish in the rock. 3D man, drive, draw, dish the rock. Jason Gardner is going to be a solid point guard. Strong, good upper body. Mr. Basketball in Indiana. Looks like this year it'll be Jared Jeffries who's going to Indiana, along with another great recruit from out of Atlanta, A.J. Roy. So Bobby Knight's wheeling the magic, despite people saying, oh, he can't recruit anymore. Forget about it. You know, it's amazing. He loses a player like Rector, and every column is written like you can't believe. Other people lose players too, John. They've been losing them all over the country. It's like an epidemic the way guys transfer. Michael Bradley leaves Kentucky, but then coming up goes to Villanova.
You got Ruben Douglas leaving Arizona.
Yeah. Really would have helped this team.
Murphy from the outside with the miss.
I think it's a lot of time outside sources. Guys fill these kids up. You're not getting enough shots, enough playing time. It's incredible.
Well, Murphy thought he had the block. See if the call goes against Murphy, because he definitely Had an awful lot of orange on that one. It is against Murphy.
There's a look at Bob McKinnon sitting next to Matt Doherty. His dad coached in the NBA, the ABA. As you watch Wright working on the inside. Paul Quennebaum on that staff. They're going to do a solid job.
It's 4 on Murphy, but Matt Doherty will not have the luxury of being able to take him out for a couple of minutes. With only 4 minutes left in the game.
He's got a guy sitting.
Got to have him on there.
Guy sitting next to him, a heck of an assistant as well, Doug Wojcik, who used to play with David Robinson at the Naval Academy.
Oh, I used to watch. I covered them when I was working in Baltimore.
Yeah.
He would dish the rock to the Admiral and get out of the way.
I'll tell you, David was sensational in college. And it's so beautiful to see guys like David and Tim Duncan, who we mentioned earlier, and Sean Elliott stay there 4 years, win the world title, showing that you don't have to come out early. You can have your degree and get ready for life after 30.
Murphy for 3. No good. Right with the rebound. Into the hands of Gardner.
Isn't Wright impressive? Really impressive. And I like Woods' play. Playing under control inside. Bad shot right there, but basically been playing under control defensively. Take it to the goal strong.
Murphy gets it up and rolls it home.
That's what he's got to do. Seal inside, post. I'll tell you, Bobby Knight sung his praises big time last year after a performance by Murphy against Indiana.
It's 22 for Murphy, and he almost had the feeling he was struggling a little bit. Wright goes after the rebound.
It's going to be tough to track this team.
Follow his own miss and puts it in.
I'm surprised Illinois and DePaul allowed him to get out of that state. I can't wait to see Illinois Tuesday with Frank Williams, Griffin, Marcus Griffin.
Arizona trying to put the finishing touches on. Welcome back. Arizona in command right now, but still 3 minutes and 3 seconds left for the Irish to come back. Don't forget, college football game day Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Chris Fowler, Elite Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit every week. I'm like, where are these guys? I got to find them.
Fowler's here today.
Fowler's
here today. I just spoke to him. He's at our game right now.
He's here right now?
Yeah, he's here right now. Came over, said hello to me.
Might have to get him, put him to work a little bit. And then,
wow.
Of course, following that, Air Force and New Mexico.
He's sitting right next to one of my buddies, Tommy Longo, who played for Notre Dame football and loves the university from out of New Jersey, played for the Giants. My best friend here in the house tonight. Cheering his Irish on.
Chris Lee and the coach, they're great fun to watch. Every Saturday morning, it's the first thing we do at ABC before we get on the air is flip those guys on and find out exactly what's going on around in college football.
Well, you know, Corso said Virginia Tech. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That is very good. I have to give Lee the nod on that.
Well, you got to give him the nod. Also, it's the year of the Bison. I mean, come on, John, you have to give me credit. I had Connecticut and Duke playing in the final before Weah happened. He had Virginia Tech playing Florida State. And if those kids at Virginia Tech don't get the nod, wait a minute, if they don't get the nod, if they go undefeated, there should be an investigation.
Well, here's what I want to ask you. You say it's the year of the Paisan. As far as I know, you guys don't play for either of those teams. Any of them.
You're right about that.
It's the year of Frank Beamer.
What a year they've had.
Well, they only lost 3 games last year and lost those 3 games by about a total of 10 points and then returned 16 starters. So Lee was very astute in looking that up, figuring that out.
Can we talk about basketball instead of football?
Absolutely.
I mean, let's do some basketball here. I mean, I'm not hearing about football and Pigskin all week.
You especially don't want to talk about football when it comes to do with the Irish this year.
You know how to hurt, boy. You know how to hurt.
Dylan wants it. He was spotting up for a 3. Graves launches a 3, no good. Woods with another rebound.
That was a bad shot right there. Didn't get the kind of execution they wanted.
10 rebounds now for Woods. Anderson trying to find his way out of trouble. Right with it now. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Frazier jump stop in the paint. No good. Murphy with a rebound.
Trey Murphy working right down to the wire. Nice catch. Nice pass. Dillon with the good look. Jimmy Dillon leads them. Swanigan knows how to finish, catches it in deep.
Tell you what, there's no quit right now in the Irish.
Oh, there'll be no quit. They'll go back to the pit if there's any quit and run 304 sprints. Loren Woods' presence defensively has been a major difference in this game, and Michael Wright and Jefferson. That front court has been sensational.
Woods has a double-double with the rebounds, and I'll tell you what, he wasn't that far off with blocks as well. 6 blocks right now.
Now, I would not be shocked ultimately when these kids develop, kids like Gardner and Arenas, that if you don't see all 5 of these kids eventually playing at the next level, their front court, eventually, and their back court. I'm talking about way down the road after 4 years of college.
Olsen goes to his bench. Anderson comes back in. Arenas as well. Wessel. Inglesby thought about launching a quick 3. Stolen away. Arenas.
Watch the quickness right here. There he is. Showtime. A little pizzazz. They're going to love him down at McHale. He'll have that place rocking and rolling.
15 for Arenas. Murphy.
Just a solid performance by those young kids out of high school. They're just doing a solid job, nothing sensational, but just solid playing team basketball, unselfish basketball.
John Ash comes into the game for the first time for Arizona.
I like the one thing he told me today, Matt Doherty. He said, from Dean Smith, I learned about team basketball and being unselfish. From Lloyd Williams, I learned how to organize a program. And from Bob McKillop, my high school coach, I learned about intensity.
Well, that's going to be a tough catch for Ash. At 5'10", it would have had to have been Kareem to get that pass.
The best all-around center ever to play the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Complete center. I'm talking rebound, score, defend. Even though he wasn't a great rebounder, but he rebounded adequately and passed exceptionally well and was consistent year out, year in and year out.
Inglesby from deep, no good. Ash chases it down and then trying to save it, throws it right out of bounds. Final 21 seconds. And here comes Roy coach, Josh Pastner coming in.
Yeah, Coach Paston getting some playing time. You know what else I love that Matt Doherty did? He took his team to North Huntington High School this year to work out. And they have a high school phenom there as a junior, a 6'9" kid. I believe his name is Klein, Sean Klein. I may be wrong, but I believe that's his name. And the bottom line is he wears a headband. And he had all his team wear headbands when they took the floor to let the kid know we know about you, baby. And, I mean, that was just a great recruiting tool. I mean, he's going to be out recruiting like you cannot believe. If you can play, he will find you.
Monserrat. Owens tosses that in.
Owens gets that offensive rebound, gets a deuce, gets rewarded with a little playing time for the effort they put into practice. But this has been Arizona. There's no doubt about it. Arizona's quickness, balance. What I like about Arizona, they have balance. They have an inside play and perimeter play, and they play on a defensive end.
Cartella throws it up hard off the glass and gets it to fall.
They're trying to pitch the strikeout. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Win 3 preseason NIT titles. Lute Olson added that to his resume.
3 in the 90s.
Yes, sir. He's getting one step closer to a date with either Maryland or Kentucky. I tell you, the Irish kids came out, played hard, played with enthusiasm. Matt Doherty's got them ready, but at Lute Olson's night, his kids were just a little bit quicker.
And Murphy didn't get the 30s numbers that he's had his last 2 times out, but hard-fought day. And he chips in with 22 points against a very quick Arizona team. And Lute Olson will await the winner of our next game between Maryland and Kentucky. That one also promises to be a pretty terrific matchup. Some good front lines, another couple of very young teams. Remember, Maryland had 3 guys drafted in the NBA. Kentucky had 2 drafted into the NBA. Each team returning only 1 starter, so the changes will be evident when you watch that game. But just the same, at programs like Maryland and Kentucky, they're simply reloading, much the way they do that at Arizona as well. So once again, Arizona has the win over top of the Fighting Irish, 76-60. The second half of our doubleheader coming up, but right now let's go back to Larry Beal and Digger Phelps.
All right, thanks, John. Again, game 2 of the doubleheader coming up in about 20 minutes. An old coach once said to me, gave me this saying.
Who's the old
No,
coach?
it wasn't you. It wasn't you. You're not that old, all right? He's a little worried about that.
Go ahead.
But he said, physical superiority cancels all theory. And Arizona just had too many athletes. Do you agree with that, by the way?
Oh, absolutely. Give me those kids that are quick and you win. But Loren Woods was a force inside. When you take a look at Wright and Richardson, the quickness on the perimeter, and Gardner as a point guard, that was too much for the Irish. But understand this, Troy Murphy, I think the Knicks can use him right now. He is definitely one of the top 5 players in the country. And, boy, to keep him around Notre Dame next year is going to be something to do. But I really like what Matt Doherty has done. They will be a better team in the Big East. They got a tough game coming up, playing the loser of Kentucky and Maryland. Tuesday they play at Indiana and Bloomington, another tough game. But I think then when they get into the conference, look for Notre Dame to be one of those teams that get better as the year goes on.
Yeah, and Arizona, they love New York, undefeated at Madison Square Garden, this latest run, 5-0. Come back, we'll preview Game 2 and the Maui Classic final. Stay with us.
Savan pants. Soft, comfortable, stylish. So you'll look good no matter what happens.
Recently, BarnesandNoble.com sent John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, out to deliver his book.
Tell him I ordered the book for him.
Okay. Your wife would really love it if you read this book.
Well, tell her I have a lot of other books to read right now.
Okay.
Some deliveries went faster than others. In the end, they were all happy, satisfied customers. BarnesandNoble.com. We bring writers home.
Okay, you're serious. You're quitting smoking and you're taking your best shot. So you should know what Nicoderm CQ has that the store brand patch doesn't. CQ gives you 3 steps to gradually reduce your dose. Store brands don't. CQ lets both heavy and light smokers step down. Store brands don't. And only CQ has the method preferred by doctors. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
There are over 800,000 job openings
for internet specialists right now.
3 million more in the next 5 years. By the time I'm 18, over 1 billion jobs will require internet skills.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, the same one sponsoring thousands of networking academies. Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
We're ready.
Are you?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the preseason NIT is brought to you by Daewoo, bringing affordable luxury to America with the 2000 Daewoo Nobira.
Welcome back to our coverage of the preseason NIT. Larry Beal along with Digger Phelps as we count you down to Game 2 from Madison Square Garden, which is Maryland and Kentucky. And we talk about the Terrapins. You know, last year you have Steve Francis, Terrell Stokes in the backcourt, guys who could do it all, pass, they could score, they could play defense. Well, Gary Williams looks down his bench. He doesn't have those guys, doesn't have Obina Akizi, so he's saying, well, all right, where are the points going to come from? Who's going to play some defense here? But Juan Dixon has stepped up, only a sophomore, and he says, hey, I'm ready, Coach.
3 games, he's over 20 in each game. I think that's the balance you look for. A great guard that knows how to score and penetrate, and this is what Juan Dixon has been. He explodes to the basket against San Francisco, 20 points in this game, knows what to do when it counts. He had 25 points against Tulane, 21 points the other night against Fairleigh Dickinson, and yeah, there's still another guard off that group when you take a look at Drew Nichols off the bench, 27 points. Up front, Terrace Morris. Morris, everybody's All-American. Flat out can play, really complements the outside game of Dixon. Morris is on the inside, and this is where I think the Terps know. Get the ball into Morris, we can score. Let Dixon run the show on the outside. That's their 1-2 punch.
How about the artist currently known as Prince for Kentucky, Tayshaun to the hoop?
Well, he's solid. I mean, he does a lot of things for them. The explosiveness that he has going to the basket. He's not afraid to step out and shoot threes. And I think that's a consistency you see in his game. When you can take a look at a player that goes outside, inside, and can slash and dash, this is the excellence that he brings to this game. And I like what he does for Kentucky. And I think Tubby Smith has done a good job, as has his son, Sol Smith, of running a team to get Prince as well as Jamal or my man McGlure inside that paint.
Well, you look at Prince, 6'9", Jamal McGlure, 6'10", Jules Kamara, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" up front. That's like an NBA front line. Maryland will have to deal with that size inside.
Gary knows that. He can't get Lonnie Baxter in foul trouble tonight, and I think what he wants to do as far as McGlure and even Stone, the freshman, Marvin Stone, 6'10", another guy, Maryland cannot afford to get in foul trouble. Look for Maryland tonight to really play the zone, see if Kentucky can shoot the threes on the perimeter, pack it in, do the rebounding, and get their explosive game going. Kentucky wants an up-tempo game. Understand something. Against Penn, they hold them to 31% shooting field goal. Utah, they hold to 41% shooting field goals. They got 20 points off of 18 turnovers against Utah. So up-tempo is what Kentucky wants. Maryland really wants to control the game. They'll run, but they want to pack it in and see if Kentucky can score in the perimeter.
All right, game 2 from the Garden coming up about 15 minutes away. Let's take a look at some action from around the country. UNC Asheville and Tennessee. Jerry Green is the coach of the Vols. He used to play for and coach UNC Asheville. This is one of those games, Digger, where you say, oh, I'm going to invite the alma mater in and then give him a little spanking. But so far, UNC Asheville hanging tough. It's a one-point game.
Tony Harris has got to take that game over. You can see right now Yarbrough's got the points inside, but Harris is the point guard that makes things happen for Tennessee. That's why the game's close.
Wow, Yarbrough scored almost all the points for his team. Well, out on Maui, Florida and Georgetown hooking up. And, you know, Georgetown, they came to Hawaii, never having lost there. 20-0, they suffered their first loss yesterday against Carolina. But the question for Billy Donovan and the Gators, you know, he said these guys are reading too many of their press clippings. We got to get out and play some ball.
They read them, especially when they beat Florida State by 35. And I think that when you take a look at Teddy Toupee sitting on the bench in the second half, that's where Billy Donovan's sending him a signal. But Georgetown will be a tough team. I thought they played very, very well against Carolina last night. It looked to them to be a factor in the Big East.
Hey, this one is a surprise. Utah State beats USC. Henry Bibby's thinking, oh, man, this trip to Hawaii, I don't want to go to Hawaii anymore. Troy Roll had 11 points. Andre Mayhorn with 10. A nice, solid team effort for the Aggies. Well, you know, they pushed Florida to the limit.
Yes,
maybe they're better than we thought.
Well, I think Southern Cal's just trying to struggle with an identity as far as offense and defense, and I think Henry Bibby knows that, and this is a big year for him as well as the Trojans in the Pac-10.
And poor Chaminade, the host team, they fall to Memphis, 83-65.
I mean, that's your country, I say to you, right?
I mean, yes, I'm the king of Hawaii.
You know what Chaminade is, and you played in that gym, so they're just nice hosts.
They're nice hosts, and they have a nice banquet and all that, and Memphis gets their first win of the season.
They beat Sampson, Ralph Sampson. That's their greatest thrill.
Well, that was back in '82 when Ralph and Virginia, they were coming back from Japan. Those guys were all jet-lagged, and Tony Randolph, who knew Ralph, they played in high school together. They weren't intimidated at all, but those are the old days. Tonight in the championship game, you got Purdue and North Carolina. And we've really enjoyed the past couple of nights being witness to the coming out party for the Tar Heel freshman by the name of Joseph Forte. How about this? Carolina's leading scorer is a freshman. Now, it's early in the season, but this guy, Joe, is serious.
From the math, I mean, Morgan Wooten does a great job of getting kids ready. Here's why. Not afraid to shoot from the perimeter. Has a lot of consistency. Went 4 for 4 and 24 points against Southern Cal. Outside shooting, very important, but watch him get to the glass. 17 points, 8 rebounds against Georgetown. So when you take a look at this game, tough, because now you go inside, puts the pressure on Brendan Haywood. Tough on the glass, points in the paint, knows it when he plays, and this is where I love him at his best. Not afraid to intimidate and block the shots, but then again, the power of his game is when he, gets an offensive rebound, slams it through the basket, and that's the best of Carolina. And if Coda can just get focused in the first half, because he's been on, I think he's been to the beach both days in the first half, and yet in the second half, he gets the team going, and that's the best